However, we will at this point invite Mr. Whipper Zejiwan, the first barber ever, the first visually impaired barber ever Liberia has had, who has set up very simple today. So while he's summing up, while he's illustrating his silence, the artist Joshua Dangani will be doing the song Pushing Against Drugs. So, Mr. Wilfred, that you want the floor is yours. So, you should the person what you can do.
All right, folks. So, let's hear from him quickly. He's visually impaired, and he will be barbing his colleague, who is being prepared.
To say, disability is not your physical appearance that makes you disabled. By walking with white cane and crutches and moving a wheelchair and using wheelchair does not actually make one disabled. What makes you disabled is when you lack opportunity. A lack of opportunity to make anybody disabled. Today, because of opportunity, I can be referred to as the first blind barber in the Republic of Nigeria. So, back in 2013, I had an opportunity to travel to South Africa through the Institutional Development Program and sponsored by the South African National Council for the Blind. And I was able to win an award in visually impaired body. So to be a blind barber, it only takes you to have intensive feeling, touch. If you cannot touch, you cannot barb. You have your feeling or replace your sight. Mr. President, again, my name is Zerbo Frenchion. I just want to use this as an opportunity to remind you, I'm also the president of the United Blind Association of Nigeria, also one who visited you to your home with the school Zoom with the blind kids from the United Blind Training Academy. Just for you to know. All right, so I'm going to demonstrate the tools being used by the visually impaired barber. Of visually impaired, use ordinary equipment. I also use the scissor to break down any pushing head. So the extra equipment I was given to the visually impaired is only the comb. The comb is absolutely different. So, all right, so quickly, in my hand here is a body comb. So this comb, it has two closing. So you open it like this, you lay the razor blade in the two blades. So this is what you found here. Okay, not just in plastic. So when the blade is holding it properly, you put the cover the blades. So this comb has 4 edges. So with the practice I've done, each of these edges can form 6 different styles. 6 is 1, 24. So one of these edges is used to shape the V, and also the what we call in the balance up. And this is the barbing machine. In the absence of this machine, I can use this spoon to cut any hair even when there's no light. If I don't need light. All right, next thing in my hand here, the nice thing in my hand here beside the phone is the barbing machine. So the machine has 4 attachments. So without the attachment, this is a major platform. Without the attachment, using only this platform, we're using the part skin cut, low skin, executive one. And then with the different attachments, we're also using as visually impaired for different styles. So I put on the attachment for you to see. So this attachment you see can help you to cut parenthetic. for the most who pay one pay on teaching. And just by touching and feeling like this. So I'm going now to demonstrate it now before His Excellency. I hope the Excellency will watch me, give me the chance to watch me as I put this. Tell me that disability does not have boundaries in the world. Thank you.
Thank you. So that he's doing that, we will invite Mr. Jacob Alani, who will do a song in the background against drugs.
All right, so the bobbing process is on now.
We are enough for tomorrow. We are future enough for tomorrow. For build a video. Love a video. Trust the good. They don't do as a who will believe in us? Who will believe in us? Yeah. So send up to Joshua, send up to Joshua, send up to Joshua, send up to Joshua. Send up to Joseph, let's send up to John. Send up to Joseph, let's send up to John. And you are crying, oh, citizen dying, oh, we sorry, oh, let us send up to John. We're crying, we are crying, citizen dying, let's send up to John. See I find it, my sister, see I find it, my brother, who bless your name, who bless your name, never is found because drugs confusing us, destroying us, killing us.
A smile on his face, observing the visually impaired barber do his job. Also, there is the Minister of
the whole world is saying, President Boakai said, love to God. Say love to God. Say love to God. And I need to make it okay. Say love to God. 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 I feel like all. Let's say to God. So we take like all. Get up and face it. I'm not being yours. Get up and face it. I'm not being yours. Stop the dream. Stop the dream. Send up to George. 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 Let's send up to George. Send up to George. Let's send up to George. I'll be doing this since the law, man. Let's go. Shake your hand. He says you can shake your hand. Hey, let me hear you about the world, bro. Like it's the world, bro. Say yeah, 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 yeah. Say no, no. Say no, no jump. Say no, no. Let's do no jump. Send up drugs. Say no to drugs. Let's say no to drugs. Say no to nothing. Let's say no to drugs. Say no to nothing. Let's say no to drugs. Skinny bit, let me hear you say. Skinny bit, no skinny go me. Skinny bit, the process say that no to drugs. Skinny bit. I just say no to drugs. Everybody say no to drugs. I've been doing this every day. Everybody say no to drugs. Drugs are rooted, and I say no to drugs. Here we go, let's see here we go. We feel get up your faces. My face say no to drugs. Listen what's the building. Listen what's the world. This is what people say no to drugs. I'm gonna say no to drugs. Ah, One, two, let's go.
All right, folks. So our Baba is still doing his thing.
Yeah.
He's doing, exceptionally well. If you can see from here. He's designed a pure skin cut and gradually removing the pieces.
You know that is real. I've seen the championship in the hand, you know. So much for it. So let's go. I just want to celebrate this 26th. Join me to celebrate it. Join me to jubilate. I just want to celebrate. I just want to jubilate. I just want to celebrate in this way. We just want to celebrate. Press I want to celebrate. We want to celebrate. We just want to celebrate. Come in and let's celebrate. Come in and let's hey, let's go. We can celebrate. Let's celebrate. Let's celebrate. Let's celebrate. The president said we will celebrate. He said we will celebrate. The farmer said we will celebrate. Come in and celebrate. The second man said we will celebrate. Come in and celebrate.
All right, so I will need some government official to come and inspect the hair, but the inspection of the hair is not free. Yeah. And you know kind of time you see and you Republican government Republican here. And I tell you what, God said the hair is gone. The hair is gone. It has on and then you start using the rest of force. So you will tell me
So the party is done according to him. That's the style that was requested.
So, is anyone coming?
Yeah, I guess Mr. President himself wants to.
Blues. Of the Republic of Liberia. Now I have come to expect this haircut. Okay. And I think this is mandatory, right? Whoa!
All right.
Thank you. Okay. Okay. Next question. And my pastor here, and Mr. Roy, he's actually there. I see him. He's there. Okay. So let me take this time to appreciate the president, two of the presidents for the people, everybody. The president has given $100 for this one. So, Mr. President, I appreciate you, God bless you. I just got a master's degree in special inclusive education. So I didn't live that. I'm an educator. I'm the first lecturer at United University of Narcosis College of Education at Myean University. I'm a visual intervention. So thank you.
Thank you, Mr. Richard.
All right, so our splendid barber is also a professor of disabilities, an educator.
Nothing for us.
So return to the event as it continues.
Right? Thank you. Can we get settled down, please? Hello. The program is still on. So thank you to hello. The president is in the room. There are all the participants beside me. Thank you. Thank you, Mr. Jerome. Thank you, Mr. Dagali, for the rendition. So we know that nothing for us around is what the people with disabilities was heard with our names. With our eyes, with our fingers, we shall overcome. At this stage, performing the drama titled Discrimination Against Persons with Disabilities, we will again invite our team of advocates for us a very insightful drama that was of Liberia for exchange. So on stage is the advocacy team to perform for us the drama titled Discrimination Against Persons with Disabilities. Welcome.
All right, so we stay with the folks for another drama. This will mark the third one since we started this event. And of course, it just shows that folks with the disability does not mean they. All right, let's join them quickly.
Doing the power, somebody said now, the holy honor and children. What happened? Tell me.
Well, when you tell me, in school, I go, or in school, I was there, one way to claim a way was there. Even though you the Bible say I will. What will go in the Bible? So my Bible in the Bible, I'll give you my chest. When to carry we on our step, I will order. So now I try to ask me. I mean, I can just say I'm going to do this.
Councillor to get out. I must say, since I graduated from university, and I apply for job one place to the other place, even I can apply, I can be successful before them my confusion and years so. They can't even tell me to the station I can enter in the community, my other friend up there, I see condition. They can be paying for and me say, we are encouraging all the girls to public here, and we are on the scene level. I must say, all the two cents are too embarrassed.
I'm talking of don't have to. Yeah,
Why are you talking so?
I'm talking about our problem, our school business, our discussion. So what does you know we are trying to?
I see problem I'm facing because you know you see even the other day I went to the hospital my back everything that I say now my back everything that people they get my back everything maybe they I go to the hospital the woman look at me and tell me say people were too full they don't even get food to support their children then they talk about what they are you with your body. So for that reason, I'm going to go to the hospital to work on the time. I just decided to go right behind the one there. Then I made my happy. I mean, the one is I want to go to the hospital. I cheat to go to the hospital. I see them as well as behind me. I see problem in facing me. He came for. When he accepts the same problem when you go to the hospital, they get the attention to eat because they can know you can't be there.
I was saying, I'm talking more there. You see the problem that we the judges are facing. Go to the hospital, a doctor, anything they want phone with people. You say I hate anything, they say I have anything. You say I don't anything, you say I warrant. So they now easy with the president. For the sign language interpreter to be in the hospital, all the government hospital, even the president's office. Yes. Interpreters will be there. All the various schools, interpreters will be there. Even the university. You want to go university, no interpreter. What kind of university is there? Oh, 10 person there. They cannot one interpreter. Yeah. So are they there? With the president here.
The president, the president, we the Buddhi, the devil Buddhi, who has very happy in their country. Why you got the power us? And even Papa, our joint voice. Even we the president will go to the hospital. Let the local house. Because when we go to the hospital, they have local house. So that I mentioned to you, Mr. President.
Mr. President, the people's president, I'm calling upon you this afternoon that people who are disabled, who have gone to school, obtained degree, qualified, I will want you to provide them jobs for independent living. Thank you.
At least we can help how we disabled to build to at least we can either our wheelchair to enter our country, we can ride a wheelchair to enter the garden. That's my message. Thank you.
We want every government institution, the university. We want interpreter there. Interpreter right now they are paid and less than nothing. You interpret the whole day. What are the examples? So the interpreter we want the interpreter that need to be the government project. Thank you.
All right, folks, splendid performance there, and also making some very reasonable requests to His Excellency. It's obvious, of course, a lot of public buildings are not disabled friendly. Universities, hospitals, the structures, a lot of them were not built keeping disabled people in mind. Howbeit, the President of the Republic is here engaging with these Liberians living with disabilities. Of course, this event is in observance of Liberia 177 independence.
We are all part of that great family. And I'm true. We know love is all we need. We are the one. We are the two. We are the ones together for our days. So that's why we much brighter than tomorrow. If you really try, find there's no need to cry. They say you hurt the world wrong. There are ways to work if you can't enough, but maybe make a little mistake. Never
our advocacy team. Look, let me sit down. I'm sure the messages were captured, and it's important that a space is created for people with disabilities to thrive successfully and live a more independent life. They must have a safe space, and we must herald our issues collectively in a way that government can listen to all of us, right? So we want to thank our team for performing that meaningful drama that has sent a very clear message across to the leadership of our country. At this stage, we will take a very important part again of our program. Remember that I'm at the very master cafe. And we will take call to action from the community of persons with disabilities. And we will invite 3 speakers that will speak for maximum 3 minutes as I'm instructed. So, taking the stage first is the president of the National Union of Organizations of the Disabled, Mr. Peter B.K. Torgbean, for a call to action.
Good afternoon, ladies and gentlemen. Well, Mr. President, platform, distinguished ladies and gentlemen. Mr. President, the National Union of Organizations for the Disabled, NUD, bring you greetings from membership of the union. We feel very happy to be seated here today with the opportunity to explain to you what we, the people with disability, PWDs, are going through in this our country, Liberia. We have come to tell you, Your Excellency, what we believe must be done for the people with disability to be included in the program Liberia for all Liberia. In the Liberian society, like many other societies, there are people with different physical and mental conditions. Some by nature, other man-made. One can be able today, but disabled tomorrow. So, Mr. President, our society must take care of its own. We are a part of this society. This is where God placed us. We deserve to be treated equally and fairly. We cannot be treated less than a human being. Why all of us have the same flowing through our veins like any other human being made by God, our Creator. This is a human, Mr. President, over the year. Again, we have few listed things, and we'll get to it directly. Number one, the building of the national headquarters of the National Union of Organizations of the Disabled that cover all disabled people organizations has to be built. And we're calling on you to please do this for the disabled community of the National Union. And the union should have a budget line directly under the National Commission on Disability or institution concerned with social welfare for the smooth operation of the union and not subsidy. Number two, political participation of persons with disability through the enforcement of the implementation of the NCD Acts, Section 9, which talk about the establishment of 3 seats of the House of Representatives for persons with disability, voice to be heard. Mr. President, this, the lower house and the upper house passed this into law. And since 2005, we are not seeing any outcome. Mr. President, we are calling on you as the father to all to take this very, very important. Okay, let me leave a note of this. We want you to take this very, very important. You see, our disabled women, they're passing around, look here the blind right in here. It looks like a dream. But it's really happening within our community. You see, one lady bringing 2 to 3 children on the street. And those 2 to 3 children will run on the car, help me out, mind. At the end result, those children are not going to school. Mr. President, in the next 10 years, if we don't take time, the disabled community are breeding another source of fools and zombies. And we don't want for our children to be called in the future. Well, Mr. President, you have been in the disabled community for the angle of the group of 77. Give a speech, Ms. Lina K. please take a copy and give it to the President. But Mr. President, we would love you to have a meeting of such because you don't have sufficient time for today. And for the sake of time, we are calling on you as a president to see reason that persons with disability should not be roaming here and there on the street, but there should be a social security benefit, at least $50 a month with a bed of rights for a person with disabilities. In that, you will see disabled people all on the streets. For this reason, Mr. President, As I said, I did a speech from my own interview because we have other things in there. Did I give a pre-paper speech and let the protocol of the president get it? And Mr. President, please read of us. And also I heard one of my colleagues say that we have been having the opportunity to go to school or after school, go to employment. Mr. President, thank you, and we hope those things be done for us. Amen.
Thank you. With no time to waste. Thank you very much, Mr. President. With no time to waste, we will invite to the podium the Executive Director of the National Commission on Disabilities, Mr. Samuel S. Torgbean, to give a statement for top actions.
Good afternoon to all. His Excellency Joseph Boakai, President of the Republic of Liberia, Her Excellency Stephanie Kuhn, Second Lady of the Republic of Liberia, members of the Fourth Estate, His Excellency Myean D, Her Excellency Jasu Jara, Minister of Education, kindly allow me to stay on existing protocol because of time and introduce myself. My name is Samuel Sumo Senior, and I'm the Executive Director of the National Commission on Disabilities. I know that we are pressed for time, and the President has a slew of engagements. But I'll be remiss as the minister charged with the mandate to hear the affairs of 1 million Liberians with disabilities if I don't say these few words. So I beg the indulgence of protocol and our dear, lovely President to allow me to delve into what I have to say. Life for people with disabilities or PWDs is a living health in this Republic of Liberia. People with disabilities are greatly marginalized and disenfranchised. There is an unequal treatment in every sphere of life for persons with disabilities. I could go on and on with a litany of disadvantageous manner of handling of people with disabilities in our country, where we are all citizens and should be equal before the law and before God. But we are at the bottom of the food chain, struggling and suffering just to find food to eat this. To eat daily. This has to stop. We are totally convinced that this Liberian society of men and women with conscience, leaders with compassion, and Muslims and Christians with merciful hearts can do better than this. In 1990, after a fierce fight for the right to full place in society, scores of persons with disabilities in the U.S. were sent to prisons for their tackling the disability theory by occupying Capitol Hill through social actions, such as sit-ins and stair crawling by paralyzed Americans confined to the wheelchair for life. George Bush Sr. finally signed the American with Disabilities Act, the ADA. On that fateful day, the American president will proclaim, and in my own behalf, and as well as on behalf of this entire country, I now lift my pen to sign this American with Disabilities Act and say, let this shameful wall of exclusion finally come tumbling down. Today, like our American peers, too want this shameful wall of socio-economic disparity, social distinction, stigma, marginalization, discrimination, and exclusion to come tumbling down to make room for a new Liberia that will be suitable for all Liberians. Like America, who signed the ADA in 1990, we passed a disability legislation since 2005. However, up until now, only 2 of the 11 sections that make up the act that established the National Commission on Disabilities are being adhered to. Therefore, the rest are being, for some reason or another, overlooked, to say the least. Therefore, today, Mr. President, we humbly beseech you in prayers that you, as our chief custodian, with a heart for vulnerable people, will enforce all sections in the act that established the National Commission on Disabilities. Mr. President, in order to build a new Liberia for all Liberians, we must collectively curtail aggressive panhandling, and as it has been public enemy number 1 for persons with disabilities, which is ironically and sadly, for the most, the only form of livelihood for this derelict lot. I think that we can't overemphasize enough this point. We just witnessed a drama concerning the same thing. We must now shift to the right-based approach, which informs 2 more sustainable and robust safety nets: education and employment. Your Excellency, Section 5 of the Act that established the National Commission on Disabilities states in part that for every 100 persons employed at any area of employment, 4% should be persons with disabilities. Indeed, this quota system proves to be an affirmative alternative for employment, a far cry from aggressive panhandling. However, there's a flip side to this reality: job readiness. We have to be honest with ourselves. How many of our disabled compatriots are job ready and are equal to the task as secretaries, teachers, data entry clerks, statisticians, sociologists, accountants, lawyers, and agronomists, etc., and available to assume our quota given to us by law, should you choose to enforce Section 5 of the Act? This section of the Act aligns with Article 27 of the United Nations Convention on the Right and Dignity of Persons with Disability, which Liberia is a signatory to, which requires state parties to take steps to safeguard and promote the rights of persons with disabilities to work, including for those who acquire disability during employment. Notwithstanding, just from the top of my head, I can name a blind lawyer, Austin Bayo, in the house. We give a hand of applause to Austin Bayo. The amazing Noah Gibson. We give a hand of applause to Noah Gibson. Etc. We insist, Mr. President, that we need to support the largest disability population in census data in action and conduct our own enumeration. We need to collect our data, which should disaggregate disability data to inform duty bearers, employers, and our international partners on the stratification, gender, kinds of disabilities, and ages of persons with disabilities. This, Mr. President, would inform the kind of intervention needed for persons with disabilities. Mr. President, please lead this process by kindly making it one of your special priorities. That way, we will have a data bank on our website and protect the hard copies to inform future bearers about the size of our plight, category by category of people with disabilities, from an informed perspective. I'm sorry to say that the latest 2022 census report, which I can safely say is an assumption that 2.2% of Liberians live with some form of disability, raises questions that can only be answered if we conduct a well-structured, well-resourced data collection process. Your Excellency, in a case of the inevitable competence breach, our capacity will always be built through sustainable employment informed by this building. That encompasses even education, skilled and unskilled labor employment, and worst case scenario, social work. Mr. President, you could also look into monopoly for persons with disability to empower and sustain them and their families. Areas of possible low-hanging employment opportunities for persons with disabilities. Mr. President, we'd like for you to look into parking attendants for persons with disabilities, especially deaf. If you can employ all parking attendants to be deaf, I'm sure that's going to curtail some of the employment issues that we have in the community of persons with disabilities. Janitors. They don't require any special skill. These people are very strong and hardworking, and they can make great janitors. Instead of shoe repairers, they could be shoemakers and make shoes that maybe you can wear and set a trend that other ministers and other people can follow so that they can get a livelihood. Pure water, like the United States, the vending machine exclusively belongs to a person with disabilities. If you can pass a legislation and say only person with disability can sell water in this country, it would empower us to become president. Only detergent and toiletries. I see my man, Reverend Father Bremer. You know what I'm talking about. He makes some brilliant detergent and toiletries. If we can get the blessing that market should be monopolized by persons with disabilities, we will no longer have to beg on the street. We fix our toiletries and our detergent and sell it to online ministry agencies, civil enterprises, and maybe even corporations. One does not need high school diploma for the nation, a simple middle school diploma will do, which brings me to my next point. Mr. President, the National Commission on Disabilities, the seat of disability in this country, and your life in this essential area, leads its own office an array of logistics supplies. Mr. President, I'll be remiss if I don't tell you that the Honorable Boakai, a man I love so much in my heart that I usually refer to as Godfather, was so far-sighted to have bought a land for the disability community to have their own accessible home. What I would like to refer to as the 21st century disability model. However, our land has been encroached upon. And Mr. President would like me to take upon the mantle to order the Liberian Land Authority to listen and execute the retrieval of our land meticulously with military dexterity. Mr. President, pursuant to Article 9 of the Convention on the Rights of Persons with Disabilities, our office fails to produce a reasonable accommodation according to what international best practices provides. I cannot even go into my own bathroom. So I told my staff to lock the door before they come. So they can't catch me handling my business. That's the reality of my doing that. In order to complement our work at the commission, we will need a fleet of vehicles for our directors, controller, and last but not the least, a 50 senior bus for our committee staff, which is the engine that makes the commission a fully functional operation. Mr. President, like you, I'm the president of Persons with Disabilities, and they have a field day with me. When I talk about them getting their identification cards, they assemble in the chat room and say, look at our other one. It's like you try to fix the car, you then talk about identification card. Mr. President, we had the car since 2012, there are no vehicles. If I even start my car right now, everybody in the play will get lung cancer from carbon monoxide. But Mr. President, as a selfless leader, if you look into anything, maybe you can start with a 50 seater bus for our staff. Mr. President, since my appointment, I have been on a serious duress to address the mentioned constraints. Please intervene, for without a 21st century disability model office, complemented by adequate logistics, we might not thrive effectively. Your Excellency, please allow me to lastly add our new office, when built, will double as a hub for the fabrication of assistive technology. Persons with disability themselves will serve as engineers, prosthetic technicians, and clinicians. That too will assist with the employment deficit. Compounding that, our investment in assistive technology will tap into the AT market, assistive technology is AT for short, which is expected to be worth $36 billion by 2023. That way, instead of being a spending entity, it will be a state-owned enterprise which will start at the 1.3 billion persons with disability worldwide, contribute to the formal sector while providing an enabling environment for persons with disability to thrive in Liberia that transcends the temporary socio-economic disparity that we are currently inadvertently subjugated to. In a recent ECOWAS Disability Inclusive Conference in Abuja, where best practices were shared, I was amazed to find out that the Ivorian government obliged corporations to hire at least 200 persons with disabilities annually or pay hefty fines. Your Excellency, as a country flowing with corporations, and one which are multinationals, we come humbly to prayers that the government kindly have the conversation with these corporations to hire our people as both skilled and unskilled laborers. Thank you. In the same ECOWAS meeting, Cape Verde averred that their government gave corporations the option of donating 20% of their taxable income to charities of their choice. So does Liberia. Your Excellency, the comparative difference is that theirs is incumbent on the corporations through thorough awareness, while ours remain a top secret and mysterious. It goes over the heads of many corporations when we invoke the charity statutory code of the LRA, which speaks to 15% of corporation income taxes being remitted as purchase to charities of their choice. For example, the few corporations we vote to complement our budget invoking this law have no clue it exists. They want the LRA to write them even when presented with a copy of the law. Your Excellency, as our Chief Disability Advocate, please help us make this law go forward. That way, our 78 organizations of persons with disabilities, or OPWDs for short, if they meet the legal requirement, can harness this opportunity to benefit in a new Liberia that we build for all Liberians. Your Excellency, I have deliberately said the most important of our plight at the Commission for last, our budget, As indicated at the cabinet review and reiterated in a recent communication we sent you, we currently need an augmentation in our budget. In 2021, we have almost $1 billion. For this fiscal year, it is a little over 200,000. While we are grateful that we at least have a budget, we need our budget augmented if we could be rescued. And rescued, we deserve it. That is why I'm proposing a $10 million budget for the commission over the next 5 years. It will be a start in attending to our woes. As a disability ministry charged with the statutory responsibility to provide and protect a civil, social, economic, cultural, and political well-being of the approximately 1 million persons with disabilities in Nigeria, who will need a mentioned amount for personal disabilities within the territorial confined border to thrive on an equal basis with not disabled here in a new Liberia built for all Liberians. Finally, if our voices are to be heard in all strata of society, then we would like to kindly acknowledge you to be the chief sponsor of the repealed NCP bill that has passed the lower house and awaits concurrence with the Senate to be forwarded to you to sign into law. However, before you can do that, we will need to amend all the good things that were taken out, including Section 9 of our current 2005 legislation. In my humble opinion, Section 9B was used as a ruse to repeal the 2005 legislation, was intended as a plot to deny persons with disabilities public life. For like in Rwanda and Uganda, it speaks to a disability quota that would reserve 3 seats in the national legislature for persons with disabilities to speak and make laws on behalf of the people. Mr. President, if Liberia is to be inclusive of all Liberians, we would like to encourage you to please champion the cause of this proposed legislation. Your Excellency, may God give you the wisdom and strength to herald our cause. Happy 26th. Thank you and God bless.
The petition statement will now be presented to Mr. President.
Thank you, Mr. Director, for that very petition. Article 6 of our Constitution of Liberia talks about the principle on equality in education, and because the only female minister and Senate is in the hall, we'll take the Minister of Education, Dr. Jaso Jara, for a brief remark.
Minister of Education, Dr. Jaso Jara, will make a brief remark there also. She walks to the podium.
Mr. President, His Excellency, Boakai, Second Lady, Madam Excellency Stephanie Danko, members of government, esteemed members of the disabled community, the press, distinguished guests, ladies and gentlemen. It is with great commitment that we underscore the significance of caring for persons with disabilities in our education system. The disabled community, like all others, are the future of our nation. Their potential talents and dreams contribute to the fabric of our society and are essential to the process of nation building. Ensuring they receive the necessary support, education, and opportunities to not just be a moral imperative, but a strategic investment in the future of Liberia. Let's work together in building a Liberia where stigma and marginalization do not exist. Our ministry is dedicated to creating an inclusive education environment where every child, regardless of their ability, can thrive. We are actively working to implement programs and policies that address the unique needs of our children with disabilities, ensuring that they have access to quality education as inscribed in the Arrest Agenda. Let's work together to build this Liberia that we all dream of. Together, let's commit to the future of our nation and to every person, regardless of their disability, so that we all have a chance to contribute meaningfully to our nation's growth and development. Happy 26th, and may God bless you and bless our dear Republic.
Thanks, Madam Minister, Dr. Johnson Jala. At this stage, we will take the second lady of the Republic of Liberia and Executive Director of the University, Madam Stephanie Down.
President, Public of Liberia, officials of government, invited guests, members of the disabled community, the media, distinguished ladies and gentlemen. Mr. President, I want to use this medium to say thank you for giving me the opportunity to serve. I'm also grateful for your presence here today. This shows your commitment to the well-being and empowerment of persons living with disabilities in Liberia. Over the past month, as Executive Director of the Group of 77, you have made efforts to improve the lives of people living with disabilities. One of our proudest accomplishments has been the renovation of the Group of 77 homes. And our intent is to build a new home for the Group of 77 and establish We firmly believe that access to education is a fundamental right, and we remain committed in our efforts to ensure that this right is upheld for all. However, our work does not stop there. We recognize that empowerment goes beyond just education. It includes access to health, employment opportunities, and capacity building programs. Our mission to advocate for the inclusion of persons living with disabilities in all sectors of our social and economic activities. Accessibility to both public and private buildings has been one of our major challenges. Mr. President, I am proud to report that we have qualified and capable members within the disabled community for the growth and development of our nation. Through the support of your office, we are confident that you can create a more pathway for employment and self-empowerment for persons living with disabilities in Liberia. We call on all stakeholders, diplomatic nations, the Ministry of Health, the Ministry of Gender, the Ministry of Youth and Sport, the Ministry of Education, and all development partners to join us on this mission. We ask that you support the development of vocational and technical training programs, as well as soft skill workshops to equip our members with the necessary skills needed for workforce. As we forge ahead, I would like to reaffirm my commitment to continue the advocacy for the well-being, inclusion, and empowerment for persons living with disabilities. We will work to ensure that our members of this community have access to resources, opportunities, and support they need to succeed and reach their full potential. Mr. President, we are grateful for your presence and dedication to this cause. Together, we will build a more inclusive and equitable Nigeria where persons with disability are not only respected but also celebrated as important members of our society.
Secondly, the Republic of Nigeria. Minister of Education, other members, other officials of government, executive director of the Commission, the Republic of Nigeria, the head of the National Union on Disabilities, former officials of government, heads and representatives of other associations and unions representing both men and women with disabilities, members of the press, our audience in radio and television land, distinguished ladies and gentlemen. It is my privilege duty at this time to present to you His Excellency Joseph Newman Boakai.
Well, I want me
Yes, sir. Yes, sir. All of the people who have been working hard with disability. I want to say thank you to organizers who have given me the opportunity to come here. It's the first time to see that even the building that we enjoy
like here, I have worked with disabled people for many years. And it impaired me by doing my mother was disabled. I worked with my mother for years, losing her toes, falling down after high school, amputated. And giving the crutches, used having a closet for years, until at the crisis, somebody took them away. And I've always said to people with disabilities, it's not anybody we should go. But it comes to anybody and anything. And you are all aware that I have visited almost every place in where there are people with disability, whether it's Myean in Torgbean, I used to go there to give an item. I visited the home of the blind and they are quite noticed that right now we are renovating their building at a cost of about $250,000 in non-government money. We have solicited support. During the dedication, I'm going to invite the donor to come, who is a well-to-do person, but also the graduate of disability. We have visited many areas. And I even know that when I was vice president, almost every Friday, the line, we started from about 4 to about 50. It was a regular thing. We didn't do this because we did it because we are saying, I could be the one. I could have the child born with disability. I have, like I said recently, I have about 5 friends that I know who are doing permanent units in this country who are born blind. It doesn't matter saying that, like the story in the Bible, where somebody born blind and the disciple like Jesus, and he said, disability is not to please anybody, it's just God. But then, when people are disabled, we all have a responsibility to know that they deserve attention, they deserve that token recognition, but to know that they're part of our society. Maybe there, Noah Gibson, I don't know, who is not serving in a very prominent position, and even knows. That's to show people that we care. And we are committed to this. It's not a token thing. It's not something you have to beg for. It is your right. I think it's something that happens so long that people believe that it's given, that nobody cares. The blind go on the street, struggling to cross, nobody cares. We're in a wheelchair, we go to the supermarket. We should understand as a nation that this is not good for us. You don't see it elsewhere, many places, because it should be a responsible government that should take into consideration every citizen with a need. You just listen to these young people. just as sound as you, I hear something like that. You just saw the demonstration of someone disabled, someone blind, with a haircut. All they are asking for is an opportunity to give them a chance. And all of what they have demonstrated here is the one places of work, places of visitation, to be accessible. They also want a policy that will take them into consideration. They also asking for education. And I'm happy that the Minister of Education is here. I'm sure the health sector, I'm going to listen to the lady, and I know this country. I know this country, I know our people. They will speak exactly like the lady said here. We also know that even at hospitals, that sometimes you have people who are nurses, they sit there watching movies, but people are dying in the hospital. We are quite aware of the kind of attitude that we have. That's why we came up with a theme this year. Living new idea for all our groups. To know that each and every one of us, to know that in the United States, it doesn't mean that they are more important than those people who are with disability, or they bought it, they asked for it. It just happens that you are not one. But I want to say here that this is an eye-opener for all of us. And I like the way almost everybody in every category has been represented here, including the deaf. That we know that we are a mosaic people, that each and every one here matters in their abilities. I want to thank you for those of you who have been supported today. Sometimes we are leaving that responsibility to foreigners, to NGOs. And let's understand that while we have NGOs, it is the responsibility of the government to ensure that these people too are included. For the sake of my own interest, even the US went to one of the best school of the blind. I'm sure that's where Boakai went. And I saw how people looked after them. I saw how people take care of them. A couple of years ago, when I went to, and believe you me, I didn't even know that school was the Emperor's school.